So life as a man is actually very simple. It's super, super simple. As a man, what you need to do is just do the things you need to do, regardless of how you feel. Every day you wake up, you're going to have things that you know you need to do. These things are going to be hard to do. You're not going to feel like doing them, but these things are exactly what it is that you need to do. Every day I wake up, I don't feel like doing my cardio. I don't feel like training legs. I don't feel like fighting. I don't feel like going on sales calls. I don't feel like improving my sales skills. I don't feel like filming these videos that I'm filming right now and building my personal brand. I don't feel like doing any of these things. I feel like doing none of them, but I do them anyway. There will be days where I will be motivated to do these things, and then I'll feel like doing them. But for the most part, most days, I will not feel like doing the work. But the thing that separates the great men from the not so great men is the great man's ability to do what they need to do regardless of how they feel. And if you're a man watching this and you know that you constantly just do the things you feel like doing and you only ever do hard things whenever you're motivated, you need to change that around. You're never going to become somebody as a man if you don't have the most important ingredient to being a man, which is discipline. If you're a man and you lack discipline, you lack the most important thing that makes a man, which is discipline. All men in the history of mankind have always done things they haven't wanted to do, but they've needed to do. They didn't want to go out hunting when they needed to feed their families, but they did it. They didn't want to go to war to protect their country and protect their communities, but they did it anyways. Men have always done the things they've needed to do, regardless of how they feel. It's only in the last few decades where emotions have become a factor, where men can fall into their emotions and do what they feel like doing and not have to be so disciplined, and where we label masculinity as toxic masculinity. Don't be stoic, don't be masculine, just do what you feel like doing. If you feel bad, take some days off, take some weeks off. The truth is, as a man, like, this isn't toxic. This is just reality. As a man, you can't afford that. If you want to perform at the highest level, if you want to get to the highest level and achieve and build the greatest possible life as a man, you cannot succumb to your emotions. If you have things you need to do, which you're going to have each and every single day, you need to do them every single day. You don't need rest days. You can have rest hours. You can do the work in the mornings, do everything you need to done in the mornings and in the day, and then you can spend the afternoon and the evening spending time with your family or doing something enjoyable. That's the rest you can have, the mental rest, and just take a step back, and then you repeat it the next day. You don't need a full days of rest. You don't need a full weeks of rest. That's bullshit. You work hard and you play hard. This idea of a man needing to succumb to his emotions, and if he feels bad, if he's burnt out, I don't believe in burnout, like having a burnout. I don't believe in being burned out. Like, I believe that you can get burned out if you do something that doesn't align with your purpose. If you do a bunch of bullshit that doesn't align with your purpose and you're only chasing money without trying to provide value to the world, then I believe you can get burned out. But for the most part, I don't believe burnout is even real. I believe we men were meant to perform. We're meant to grind. That's why we have such high testosterone. That testosterone gives us drive. It gives us energy. It gives us clarity. It gives us strength. That's why we men are better performers when it comes to work and financial achievement as opposed to women. Does that mean there aren't women that make more money than men? Of course not. There are a ton of women out there that perform better than men. But I'm just saying generally, I'm not speaking in exceptions. Generally, men will be higher performers when it comes to financial aspects of life, right? That's because men have always been conquerors. We've always conquered in one way or another, either by conquering land or by conquering the internet or whatever it may be. An old school conqueror, like an old time conqueror, could be someone like Genghis Khan, who conquered massive amounts of land. A modern day conqueror can be someone like Andrew Tate, who conquers the internet, who makes himself super viral, where everyone talks about him and everyone knows him. There's different types of conquest, but we men, we've always been wired to work and conquer and achieve things. It's always been within us. And we've had to do these things regardless of how we feel. We can never succumb to our emotions. And if you're a man, again, watching this and you resonate with you always doing the things you feel like doing, maybe you go to the gym once a week because that's the only time of the week where you feel like going to the gym. You need to stop doing that. And you need to start going to the gym pretty much every single day, regardless of how you feel. If you don't feel like doing the work, do the work anyways. Fuck, I don't feel like doing the work. I don't feel like filming these videos. I post several videos each and every single week, but I don't feel like doing it. Most of the time, I have no idea what to talk about. I contemplate, I'm like, is it even worth posting a video today? I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to say. I don't know what kind of value to provide, but I do it anyways. I think of something and I hit the record button and I start talking. And this is what you need to do as a man. It's the only mental framework you need as a man. You don't need a bunch of mumbo jumbo in your brain to make it. The only thing you need is knowing that every single day that I wake up, I have things I need to do and they need to get done. My emotions aren't real. I will feel emotions all the time. Emotions will come and go, but they're not real. Emotions aren't real life. They're just emotions. They're just fragments of your mind. You need to ignore them. Ignore your emotions. Work against them. Do everything you need to do regardless of how you feel. You'll wake up every single day knowing that you have things you need to do, but you'll also feel certain things. You won't feel good all the time. Most of the time, you'll feel like shit. But you need to do what you need to do anyways if you want to separate yourself from the rest. If you want to be a mediocre man, do what you feel like doing all the time. But if you want to become an exceptional man, you need to do things sad, happy, depressed, whatever. You just need to do things. And that's the only mental formula you need. Do what you need to do regardless of how you feel if you want to get to that next level as a man and enjoy all the finer things in life. Imagine the life you're thinking about right now, like driving those beautiful cars, living in a big house where everyone in your family can live in it, all together, all united in one simple space, living a very fulfilled life where you feel like you're making a difference to the world, your family, and everyone else that sees you as an example and see you as a leader. Imagine having that kind of life where you feel super fulfilled with everything you're doing. You're in the best shape you've ever been in. You're a fighter. You make a lot of money and you're providing a lot of value to people around you. Imagine that kind of life and how much joy and fulfillment it will give you as a man. And understand that to get to that point, you're going to have to go through years of pain. It's as simple as that. There's no shortcut around it. You're going to have to go through that shit. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to go through periods where you don't have a lot of money, where you're going to have to be cheap, where you're going to have to live below your means. It's as simple as that. If you're willing to go through that and sacrifice for the greater good, once you get there, you'll realize it was all worth it. Pain is a necessary part of life. It builds character. It makes you appreciate the good things even more. There's no light without dark, and you know this as well. There's no good without the bad, and there's no bad without the good. That's how life works. If there were no bad things in life, if there were no bad emotions, bad situations, there'd be no good as well. Because if you can't relate the good to something, then the good doesn't exist. If there's no bad, there's no contrast to the good. So what's the good going to be? It's just going to be neutral. If there's no bad and no good, everything's just going to be neutral and you're not going to appreciate things. So you need the bad to really enjoy the good times in life. The bad teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you more than the good times do. Makes you stronger, makes you wiser, makes you sharper, gives you more experience. So that when the good times eventually do come because you've earned them and you've worked towards them, it will be easier to understand how to navigate through life and to maintain the riches you've built and the empires you've built. And this is the mentality you need to have. You must suffer. The only path is pain. If you're a man and you shy away from the pain and you do the things you only feel like doing, you're not going to go far in life. You need to get out of that mentality and understand that I have to suffer. I'm here to suffer. And if I don't choose suffering, I will choose a mediocre life. So take this into heart, understand what kind of man you are, and understand that anytime you don't feel like doing something, do exactly that. Train your mind and wire your mind to enjoy doing the hard things. even if you don't want to do them. Make it a habit of doing the hard things, the things you don't want to do, regardless of how you feel. When you make that a habit and you start doing things despite your emotional state, that's when you'll see yourself winning. That's when you'll see the results start pouring in. The money, the riches, the status, everything. So yeah, apply that to your life and everything will change. And as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.